Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Kate. So in today's video, I'm talking about how I am starting a self-growth YouTube channel in my 30s. And if I'm being honest, as I'm approaching my mid-30s, at the time of recording this, I am currently 33 years old. And I know this may seem odd with so many 20-year-old influencers dominating this space, and I have spent plenty of time wondering if I am too old or if this is too late to start a YouTube channel at this point. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I really wish there were more people in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s and beyond sharing their growth journey in this space. So that is why I'm here with you today. So this is a really exciting video to record because I am currently recording on some majorly upgraded equipment. I have a brand new Sony camera, so I'm really excited to have this upgraded quality for you guys. So it seems like a really good time to do kind of like an intro video to reintroduce myself and talk about the direction of this channel moving forward. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Kate. I am a positive psychology life coach and serial online entrepreneur. I have been working online now for over 7 or 8 years, and I have been on my own self-growth journey for many of those years. I have been trying to learn how to master the power of my mind to create a life beyond my wildest dreams, to create a life on my own terms, to create the life I truly want, not just the life that I've been told I should live. So my big goal with this space is, and really with my work in general, is just help more people become the intentional creators of their own lives and to really crack open to a reality of limitless possibilities. You know, we spend so much of our life feeling so boxed in and so limited, being told what we're supposed to do and the life we're supposed to live. So in this space, we're going to use the power of self-coaching and self-healing to really tap into who you are and what life you want to live, and then to shed away all of the conditioning, all of the things you've been told you should believe or should have or should want for your life, and really tap into the life you truly desire, and then work through all of your internal blocks to get those out of the way so you can actively create and live that life. So a lot of the work I do here and with my clients is centered on the concept of self-coaching. And that is because self-coaching massively transformed my own life and the lives of my clients. So I want to teach you how to use the same tools to massively transform your own life. So for a lot of my life, I dealt with some pretty intense anxiety, bouts of depression. I really struggled emotionally in a lot of ways. And it wasn't until I went to college that I really started down a path of self-growth. It was really when I got off on my own that I started kind of working towards bettering myself and trying to bring some of these emotional issues I've had and anxiety issues I've had in the past, trying to bring those into balance. And as I got older, I started to get more of a hold on my emotional well-being. I started working for myself. I met my husband, who's my best friend. We started moving around, living in all these amazing places. And I started living a pretty amazing life from the outside looking in. But even though my life seemed pretty darn perfect, I still had all of these issues with anxiety and with depression buried down inside of me, and even like self-hatred and a lot of things that I've carried around for years, but I hadn't done any work to actually clear or move through. So I kind of hit this point where I felt really stuck, really stagnant, and I felt like something massive was missing from my life. So I started looking around externally, right? Like, was it my relationships? Was it where I was living? Was it the work I was doing? What was it in my life that was causing me to feel so disconnected, so just really like something was missing? Because like I said, from the outside looking in, my life was pretty amazing. I was working for myself, which is what I always wanted. I had the most amazing husband who's my best friend. We were living in these amazing places. My life was pretty fantastic. So what was going on that was causing me to feel so disconnected from the life that I was living? So at this point, I really dug into self-help, and I had always been a bit of like a self-help closet, self-help junkie. But with getting married, starting my business, moving a lot, all of that growth, self-growth kind of had been put to the side. But when I started feeling this way, this really deep disconnection to my life, I really dug back into that space. And where I started was looking into the concept of happiness, because at the core of it, that's really all I wanted. That's all I had ever wanted, was to just be happy and content with the life I was living. And I felt like there was something causing me to be unhappy. Now, as I dug into the science of happiness, that quickly led me to positive psychology. And when I found positive psychology, I became absolutely obsessed. And positive psychology isn't what it sounds. It's not just the study of positivity. Positive psychology is more about human flourishing, optimal performance, really learning how to thrive. So much of psychology is really centered around mental illness, right? And helping people get from a negative place back to neutral. But positive psychology looks at, well, how can we get from neutral to thriving, right? So I became so obsessed with positive psychology and really studying the human mind. I loved the concept of how much of our life is created through our mind, and really how disconnected so many of us are from what is actually going on in our head. So I really became obsessed with, yes, positive psychology, but also the human mind, and how to not just understand how our mind works, but how I could begin to hack my own mind, to get out of my own way, to get a hold of my emotional well-being, and to create a life that I never thought was actually possible for someone like me. So I really quickly did a positive psychology certification course. I absolutely loved it, was able to study it for months, and then wanted to take it a step further. And that's what led me into positive psychology coaching. So at this point in my journey, I really felt like the problem, right? Remember at the beginning of all of this, I felt disconnected. Something was wrong. I was trying to find what it was in my life, right? So I felt like the problem at this point was the work I was doing. So I was working as a graphic designer, supporting small businesses, which I absolutely loved. And I actually studied art in college. So unlike the majority of my friends, I was actually using my degree to some level in the work I was doing. But I just felt like there must be something wrong there, right? It must be the work that I was doing that was causing this disconnected feeling. And I was convinced at this point that positive psychology coaching was it, right? I was going to learn this new skill. It was going to be a new business, and it was going to be what solved everything. But I was not prepared in the slightest for what actually ended up happening. So my coach training was amazing, and I found out really quick that I actually had like a natural knack for coaching. And it made a lot of sense because throughout my life, I had always been the person who people came to for advice, who people came to for support, right? If someone was struggling with something, a lot of people would come to me to help them through it. And I really loved that. I loved helping people through their blocks. I loved helping people heal themselves or try to solve problems with people so that they could come out the other side thriving, right? So that came really naturally to me because it was something I already did in my day-to-day life. I had this natural passion for helping people work through their blocks and dig into the deepest corners of themselves to then come out the other side completely transformed and able to create a life they never thought possible for themselves. But what I never expected was what coaching was going to do to me. You know, my training taught me so much about how to coach others, but I really quickly realized that learning how to coach was not about a career shift. It was much more about learning how to heal myself, how to coach myself, how to work through my own darknesses that had been controlling the creation of my life for far too long. It was really about saving myself from myself, really discovering who I was, the life I wanted to live, and coming home to who I truly was on a deep, authentic level. Coaching taught me how to examine my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own actions, my own stories, beliefs, everything that made up who I am. It taught me how to examine all of that and how to look internally for the answers that had always been there, but I just hadn't been able to hear before. And that's why I'm here today. My coaching program turned into the biggest crash course in self-coaching, in self-healing, in self-awareness, in the greatest self-awakening that I could have never expected. So today I am determined to help as many humans as I can heal, grow, expand, upgrade, all on their own. So that's why my work is all centered around the concept of self-coaching, learning to coach yourself through what is blocking you, coach yourself through the darknesses that need to be healed, coach yourself through the limiting stories and beliefs that you have been taught over the years. And instead, learn how to form your own truths, your own beliefs, and take back control of your own brain. To take back control of what's going on in your mind so that you can take back control of your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and therefore take back control of the creation of your own life. So after years of building a community on Instagram, I'm really ready for something new, something deeper. And I am so excited about what these longer length videos are gonna allow us to do. My goal here is to just show up as authentically as I can with you guys, to share my own healing, self-coaching journey, self-growth journey, and share with you what obstacles I'm going through, the blocks that I'm struggling with, and then the hacks, the tricks, the things that I figure out that work, I want to share with you in this space so that you can hopefully take them and apply them to your own growth journey. So I cannot wait for you to go on this journey with me, digging into the depths of ourselves to create lives that we never thought were actually possible. So one last piece of advice before I sign off for today. To hell with what everyone else tells you can't do. You're never too old. You are never too late. Your entire life is one long string of beginnings and endings, of failures and starting over. So go all in. All right, that's all for today, my loves. Remember that you have one precious life to live. Live it fully, live it deeply, live it exactly how you want to. I will see you all next time.